What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am Brian and this is another episode of my new series At Home EDC on my channel where I basically do anything and everything that I feel like. On my first episode, the inaugural episode, I reviewed a CWF triple aught design mini turbo torch, and kind of as a quick follow-up right into this, we have my first ever what I'll call real knife. Now, I did do a knife review on this channel a number of years ago, I think 3 years ago now, of this Benchmade Supreme knife. And during the holiday season, I actually saw a really great deal from the James brand company for a USA-built MagnaCut knife. I've never been a fan of the James brand personally, but the deal was too good to pass up and it got me interested in kind of the latest and greatest steel technologies, learned a little bit about MagnaCut, went down the rabbit hole. I'm new to this whole scene and kind of what the current offerings are, but I'm also quick to kind of get in over my head and just really explore the space. So in this box is a very, very cool knife. It is a Demko AD20. It is a special edition. And let's just get this open and jump right into it. Okay, so being a special edition, this knife was purchased via a private party sale. And I do want to say shout out and thank you to the person who sold me this knife, even though I'm not going to identify them because I don't know that they would want to be. But I'm really excited for this brand, for Demko. I just discovered it maybe a week ago. And I was actually looking originally at an Exceed Design Tyrant. And the reason for that is I honestly primarily use my knives for opening boxes, so a box cutter is a very useful thing for me. And the Tyrant is actually really useful in that respect because it has a really nice titanium handle, or you can get it with a really nice titanium handle. And in the Ultra edition, you can actually swap out the blades. So I could use blades to open boxes. They're largely disposable, and they would serve my needs while still being a really cool thing to handle. The issue with the Tyrant for me is I'm left-handed, and I therefore favor ambidextrous knives, and that knife has effectively a liner lock where you need to run your thumb across where the blade would rest, but it's designed for a right-handed thumb. So I just started digging into the space, and this is a totally different direction here to go in. But you can see here, this is a Demko MG8020 MagnaCut Clip Point Titanium Halloween 2025 edition. And you know, the blade is not interchangeable. It is a MagnaCut blade, so very, very strong modern steel. And it's a Halloween edition, which means it's got this very special titanium scale with laser etching, spider webs, and on the blade surface itself, man, first impressions, I gotta say, this is quite a hefty knife by comparison to this Benchmade. So, you know, for casual people, I'll call it, I mean, I'm a software engineer in Silicon Valley. Most people would think Benchmade and think that's the benchmark. And the reality is, just as with many things out there, many spaces, cars, automobiles, shoes, there's always levels to whatever game you're looking at. And this is next level. This is another level. This thing is beefy, burly. I'll get a scale to measure it, but just impression in hand, this is a very, very quality knife. This is a heirloom quality knife. And it's also very cool that, you know, being the icy hot stuntas and liking just unique jackets and shoes, it's got that bit of flair that I look for to make something just that little bit over the top, that little bit extra special. So this is kind of, I would say, their signature knife. It's an AD20 for Andrew Demko, The 20, I don't necessarily understand. They've got a 10, a 15, a 20.5, but I would say this is like their signature knife. The clip point, full size, never opened one of these. It is, yeah, I mean, it's gonna take me some getting used to. So, you know, it's got what's called a shark lock. The shark lock mechanism is activated from the back here. At least that's how you would release this blade. You would release the locking mechanism of this blade by pulling down on this. This is my first time seeing one of these knives. It's my first time seeing a shark lock. It's my first time engaging a shark lock, so let's try it. That's honestly ridiculously impressive. So like I said, I'm left-handed. I want an ambidextrous knife. I don't want to have to put my thumb in front of the blade. That's just a safety thing, being an engineer. And all of the liner lock style knives have the locking mechanism basically going the wrong way. So I would have to kind of finagle my thumb like this to operate it, and that's why they're just of no interest to me. So that's why I prefer things like this with a release mechanism like that, or just an automatic. But this right here is incredible. I'm so glad that I found this brand. This lock is amazing, this knife is amazing. Cool thing, special edition, you can see right there, it has a nice little spider crawling down a spider web on that side of the blade, and on the other side, kind of a spider creepy crawling as well. This is a clip point blade, which is basically just this style here. Comes to a point, has a really long blade surface, and my goodness, this is just, it's a work of art. So I am gonna get into the details, but I'm also trying to just take it all in, given that this is my first time ever seeing one of these. I actually caught wind of this brand via just a Facebook advertisement, and it was showing, I think, a knife like this, but with a G10 handle in like neon green. And I just remember looking at the image and going, that's just a beautiful knife. And I went down the rabbit hole, and here we are. Things that were appealing to me: the overall knife shape, the blade shape, the quality of the construction. Look how thick that is. The Demko knives kind of screw, it's just, that's like a really nice little piece of flair that's kind of like a tribute to the brand, you know, a signature staple. On the back it says Wampum, PA. I think that's where the US manufacturing is. This is a USA manufactured knife. All of their higher end knives are made by them directly. They do have 20.5s, which are much smaller and manufactured in Taiwan. It's actually a great business model. It's a great way to offer a lower price point and build a sustainable business while also getting to do what you love to do. This one in particular, again, has some laser etching of spiders for Halloween. It's got titanium scales for the handle. Makes it extra strong, lightweight. I mean, this is a beefy knife. You know, it's just cool. Titanium is cool. It's got a bronze anodized finish along with the laser etching of the spider webs, which kind of come out to purple and blue hues. Very, very beautiful knife. Let's get a ruler and a scale and check out some of the details of this. But man, I'll tell you, this shark lock, operating that's just a thing of beauty. And on the other side of the blade here, we have MagnaCut into the blade itself so that you can see what it is. No question about what the blade steel is. And I know that's really important to be able to identify easily and quickly. Very, very, very impressed with this. Just unbelievable quality and craftsmanship oozing from this. One thing I did notice, in general, I actually do prefer deep clip carry, meaning that when you put this in your pocket, the knife sits well into your pocket so that it's kind of not obvious that you're holding a knife or what that knife is. I live in the state of California. It's kind of a thing. You know, you don't want to necessarily advertise that you're carrying this big burly knife. I notice here, this is not a deep carry clip, but I also know that there are options to swap this out. I'm not sure if I'm honestly going to be carrying this knife or not. You know, I wanted to get my hands on one. I wanted to see what it's about. I don't carry a knife around with me religiously in general. I don't have a need for it. Again, this channel, At Home EDC, I'm unapologetic about just being an engineer, liking nice things, being willing to spend my money on nice things without necessarily having a real world use for this. So I could see using this to open boxes at home and setting it on a shelf and looking nice. Kind of matches my orange car for Halloween. And yeah, I mean, I just like collecting and owning nice things. An element of this financially, this was a $650 knife, brand new. Now to obtain it, I did pay more than that, but I'm not really worried because it's such a quality piece and it's so unique that if I ever did decide to move on from it, I am very confident that I can get out what I put into it. And that's part of what makes hobbies like this financially viable. So really, really cool. Let's get a scale, let's get a ruler, let's check out the specs of this and wrap this video up. All right, so I've got my scale, knife here. We're at 8.3 ounces for this, so pretty beefy. Let's check what this Benchmade weighs. 2.6 ounces. So 3 to 4 times as heavy. From a size perspective, let's get this out of the way. On a Benchmade, we're at like 4 1/4 inches. Closed on this, we're at 5. From a thickness perspective, man, I don't even know if I can measure this. 3/8 of an inch versus a half. And open, we've got like a 3 5/8 inch blade and an 8 1/2 inch fully open length versus 3 1/4 and 7 1/2. So on the whole, you know, you take what I think most people view as kind of a very premium folding pocket knife and you just upgrade everything about it, overbuild it, over-engineer it, and you get this, and it is pretty freaking awesome. So I will get some very nice B-roll of this knife. I'm definitely going to be playing around with it quite a bit to open and close it and get used to that. Has a very, very nice motion to it. I think I need to be very careful because I definitely notice, you know, you get it kind of that far, and if you don't get it the whole way, it's going to come back and bite you. So I don't ever want to put my fingers kind of in front of the blade path until it's for sure open all the way. That's very nice. That action, that is a very nice action. This is just a work of art. It's a very, very beautiful, very functional, very performant, over-engineered sort of mechanical marvel. Very impressed, very, very happy with this shark lock. I mean, that's perfect for a left-handed person. You know, left-handed people, they're known to live kind of 7 years less than other people, and it's probably because of folding knives with liner locks that are designed for right-handed people. So very careful, very sure to get me a knife that's designed to work with my left hand. Unbelievable, unbelievable quality. I just watched a video from Demko and you saw what happened right there. I made sure not to put my fingers in front. They, I think, took a knife like this. I don't know if it was an 80-20, but they hung 500 pounds off the rear of the knife using the shark lock, and it withstood that. It withstood up to, I think, 500 and a little bit, over 500, where the lock mechanism broke, and it broke to a failed open position, meaning it would not cut your fingers off. Completely ridiculous test, not anything anybody could ever kind of exert with their own hands. But it just goes to show the quality of the engineering that goes into a knife like this. I love that, and they're starting to get on social media a lot more with their videos. Their videos are super entertaining. So really excited to kind of own something from this brand and be a part of their story going forward. Again, I'll get some really nice B-roll of this knife. Mad impressive. I love the cutout in the blade. I love how classic this blade shape is. I love the thickness of it, the thumb stud. Everything about this is just a work of art, absolutely beautiful. That's all I've got for this one. I will say, stay tuned. I have another Demko in the mail. I actually bought it before this one, and this one showed up first. The other one should arrive tomorrow, so I'll have another one to show you guys, another special one to show you guys. That's all I've got for this one. Thank you for watching. Please let me know what you think about this knife or Demko in the comments, and I will see you at the next one soon.